is the great Robert Allen doing?
No, no, no. Just Robert Allen trying to swim through everything that's going on these days because unfortunately, it's been too eventful the last 3 months and especially the last week and a half, 2 weeks or so. But um, you're on your way to Stillwater. Let folks know why you're on your way to Stillwater.
Yes, well, I'm just leaving Ponca City. I started the day in Perry, Ponca City, and coming over to Stillwater just to meet with a group of. Actually, I haven't even looked. I don't know who I'm meeting with. Maybe the chamber, or I'm making a speech. But I'm glad to be on the phone talking some sports with you.
Well, and I'm glad to have you on, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to keep it to sports, and how badly we kind of need sports. But I understand. I keep my eyes on this, and my wife, who's in the dental field, really keeps my eyes on what's going on with the COVID-19 pandemic. I know we've opened up the state. I know things are kind of spiking, but I think there's some explanations for that. But with regards to sports, where are you standing right now? Because I know the people that listen to my show and they see you at Boone Pickens Stadium from time to time, they want to know whether there's a chance they'll be there this fall. And I know this. This thing is we still are learning a lot about COVID-19. I'm not just smack sure that we're going to have a football season, but where are you with sports in our state right now?
Well, first off, thanks so much for having me on, and I agree with you. We need sports. I think we should have a football season. I've talked to the commissioner of the Big 12 and talked to the university president. So I think we're doing everything we can from an Oklahoma's perspective to do it, to get it going. But you also have all the other colleges and other parts of the country that may not be as willing to do it. So it's still a little bit up in the air. But specifically on COVID, I just want to share with Oklahomans a little bit about that. Oklahomans have handled this better than any other state, in my opinion. The president, the vice president were in Tulsa on Saturday. They both agreed that we've handled the COVID situation better than any state. And you got to remember, we're 64 days into our reopening plan. So when you say we've had a spike, we had a little uptick in the number of positive cases. We expected that because we've been fully reopened since June 1st. And the goal was never to have zero cases. That's just impractical. And these states that are trying to bunker in place for months and months and months, when they do reopen, they're going to also have an increase. So we've got to learn to be safe. We've got to learn to take care of each other and change some of our social patterns to continue to remain safe because we may be dealing with this for the next 24 months. But here's the fact. We have 277 people across the state of Oklahoma in the hospital right now for COVID. 277. We have built capacity. We have 5,000 hospital beds available. And that was the whole reason that I issued 25 executive orders, was to slow the spread, flatten that curve, and so our health system doesn't get overrun. And we also were able to build up protective equipment for our healthcare workers. We've done all that, and now it's time to safely reopen. And on the spike that you're talking about, you've got to remember that 70% of our new cases over the last 64 days since we've reopened have been under the age of 50. Do you know what the death rate is under the age of 50 is 0.1%. So again, it's what I've been saying the whole time. It is the elderly, the people with compromised immune systems. Those are the folks that have to take extra precautions that this disease could really affect, this virus could really affect. But I'm just trying to give Oklahomans all the data, all the facts, and then give them the freedom. We believe in freedom to make the right decisions for our family and to run our businesses for the health of our family and our loved ones. And that's what I believe we should do in the state of Oklahoma, and Oklahomans are doing it better than anybody.
Yeah, and I think that's been good. Part of the reopening, like I said, my wife works for a dentist, and they had to wait a while till they could reopen. Their office is taking all the right protocols, and they have not had any problem. But people, they were getting a lot of feedback from their patients. People need their dental care. I know going back to the Y and working out for me, because I need to work out. Believe me, you know me. I need to
Yeah,
work out, and the YMCA has taken all the safety precautions. You know what? Tulsa, we've been talking a lot about this Tulsa Drillers Collegiate League in baseball, and Major League Baseball is going to be back before long. But they're going to have crowds at their games in Tulsa at One Oak starting next week. Every other row, families can sit together, but there'll be 3 seats between groups. I'm anxious to see how that works out because obviously, when if we do have football in the fall, and I think we will, we're going to need to learn everything we can up till then about how we can safely have crowds at athletic events. So, are you anxious to see what the Drillers do up there in Tulsa?
oh, absolutely. I think that's it's the right first step. And again, we've been open since June 1st, and so I just believe churches are doing the right thing. Look, we've got little league sports, and remember this: when the government tries to fix one problem, they end up breaking 3 other things. Because if you look at with our schools being shut down, with the restaurants, with unemployment going up, suicide rates go up. You've got all kinds of other issues. Actually, DHS, this is something that people don't talk about, but my DHS director is Human Services. The reports of abuse has gone down by 40%, and you think, well, that's a great thing. But nationally, when you dig into that, the reason that is because most of the reports come from teachers and coaches and restaurants, and so there are other things that are happening in our state and in our country right now because we're trying to fix one thing.
Again, Governor Stitt with us, and you tell me when you need to go. But you mentioned schools. That's another thing. I mean, you're up in Ponca City. I know they love their wrestling, and they've got their football coming back in Ponca City. Here in Stillwater, high school football has been great the last couple of years under Coach Barnard. Um, what's it look like in the fall? What do your people with your cabinet and in education tell you about the prospects for public schools in the fall, and maybe hopefully high school sports as well, because they don't have the budget some of the pros and the collegiate teams do.
Yeah, I think most of the summer pride stuff is coming back in our high school sports, and we expect them to be open. And I'm pushing the common education folks to kind of get back to normal. Uh, and what I think is important for your listeners to know is that the governor, the way our structure is set up, is the governor doesn't have any direct authority over our education system. In our state, we have a separately elected superintendent of the schools that makes
Right.
those decisions. So I meet with her and I'm pushing for, the reopening and making sure that we get our kids back into schools. And in some cases, in our lower income areas, it's the only meal that kids have. And so it's so important to kind of get things back to normal, and we've got to learn how to deal with this. And I asked, the governors from these other states, what do they think is going to happen in 3 months or 4 months? Is it going to magically disappear? We have to learn how to deal with this and continue to keep people safe, but also get to living our lives again.
Yeah, and I should have mentioned high school tennis because I think the last time I saw you at a high school sporting event, you were backing your daughter yeah, your daughter at tennis.
Yeah. My last year, she graduated from high school last year. She got all state in tennis, and so super proud of her. And yeah, so I got one playing golf now, and one playing volleyball, and I'm gonna be back in Stillwater for a kids baseball tournament this weekend. And so anyway, just following kids around like every other dad right now too.
We'll let you go. I know you're busy, but I hope to see you this fall at Boone Pickens Stadium. I know that as the governor of the state, you support all of our teams, but there's probably maybe a little extra orange there with the governor. I don't mind saying that, but hopefully we will see you in a stadium or in the stadiums, the collegiate stadiums this fall.
Oh, absolutely, and I support Coach Gundy. He does a great job. I'm looking forward to our new offensive coordinator and Don. Looking forward to seeing what he puts together. And just like all your other listeners, just real excited for football in the fall.
Well, Governor Stitt, we appreciate you checking in with us, and safe travels down here to Stillwater. And again, we'll look forward to seeing you soon.
Okay. Hey, thanks so much, Robert. Hey, happy birthday,
Thank
by the
you.
way.
I appreciate that. It's the big 6-0 next week.
Oh,
So that
that's
just means
exciting.
I've been around a long time.
Yes, sir. That's great.
All right, Governor. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, Governor Kevin Stitt.